There was always a sense of it not being quite right. There was something that didn't feel quite right about people being on blow-up beds, rotating every single night and having to find a new venue, not having anywhere for them to store their belongings during the day. Also it being often quite a male-dominated environment, and how that was for our female guests was quite kind of challenging. For me, there was always a sense that actually having a static shelter is a better option. I think it's, not just from a kind of COVID and public health point of view, but also from that kind of best practice point of view of just, really providing that stability, the consistency, and the kind of dignity that having a static shelter does. I think that also having a building means that we are able to provide a lot more support, because people are actually on site. We're not moving around the whole time, and we're able to really think about how it is that we're not just putting a roof over somebody's head, but really thinking about how is it that we break the cycle of homelessness. And I think that we're able to do much more effectively from a static shelter.
I think it's a complete game changer. It's been so powerful for our guests to be able to come into this space, not just have their own place with their own little walls around them, but to be able to leave their possessions in one place when they go out into the day and when they leave the shelter.
When volunteers come and they're asking where something is, you really notice that guests actually completely have kind of ownership over this space, and that they are actually much more familiar with the building than volunteers, which was very different to the kind of previous model where people would typically be in their own churches and know that space very well.
Jesus says, if you see someone who's hungry or naked or, and I would add, without a home, you're seeing me, and what are you going to do about it?
I do think you've got to start with a vision. I think you have to have an idea, and then I think it's a case of just going for it.
Let mutual love continue. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing that, some have entertained angels without knowing it.